This is Boxing Tickets NI in association with SB Sports. It's a happy Friday, the sun's shining in Belfast, and delighted to be joined once again with Gerard Hughes. Gerard, I guess days like this here, you're nearly sort of glad camp's coming to the end and you can sort of maybe enjoy a bit of this good weather.
It's 2 weeks today, so I'm buzzing. The better weather sort of makes it easier for you to get up out of bed and train. But I think this is the last spar today, or have one maybe on Wednesday. But no, mate, it's coming down. It's flew in, so it has. I'm buzzing like.
And I guess it's only seems like yesterday sort of you made your debut in October. I guess the good thing for you is you've obviously this could be your third fight, and all three fights have obviously your first two's been in Belfast. You're obviously getting the fight on massive, obviously Kieran Malloy homecoming card in Galway. Tickets were sort of, I think you've probably had the head fights with calling them boxing, nearly time to get tickets, but you're getting to obviously open your eyes to a different audience, obviously on ESPN and potentially on TG4, so you could obviously be streamed all over Ireland as well. You're sort of still having to pinch yourself at sort of things are coming so fast for you.
Yeah, it's actually from October. It's been sort of, there's been no, like, every time I've fought there's been talk of another fight. So I wanted to stay busy, and because it had such a layoff from the amateurs, I wanted to have a good few fights in succession. So I've had that. So same again after this one. I'm hoping to get out same again after that, maybe the next 2 to 3 months. I'll stay ready for it. So nah, mate, it's been good. It's been from October. It's been quick, and that's the way I wanted it.
And this is the third Irish show of obviously the year, and you're going to be in two of them. And we're coming into obviously this busy period as well. Obviously Mick Conlon obviously fighting for world title in Belfast. First world title fight since obviously a good friend of yours, Paddy Barnes, fought in August 2018. But we're coming into obviously a busy spell. It's probably a great time for you sort of in turning over the fact that Irish boxing is booming so much that I guess in hindsight sometimes people look at it and go, I've had a fight, when am I going to get another fight? You're managed by obviously Kevin Marie and obviously in England, but Kevin's just happy enough for you to plod along and to build a profile here in Ireland.
Yeah, definitely. It's like that's what I'm saying. When you've the Conlons and stuff, obviously fighting for world titles, there's a lot of cards here to give you the opportunity to get on and fight. So it's been Kevin's been Kevin every time after a fight he's going, right, well, what's next, and we're talking about it, and then he's going and he's getting me on a show, and then we're going again. It's actually it's good. It sort of takes that whole like, I'm out of it. He goes and does it. He tells me, right, this is it, and then you just train. Do you know what I mean? It's been a good first three fights, like.
And you're stepping up to obviously 6. I think in boxing, it's showing the money you're stepping up to 6 rounds. Is this just the fact that obviously it's starting to prepare for the longer rounds? I guess anybody could sort of nearly do 4 rounds in their sleep nowadays, but for you it's stepping up to 6 rounds. And probably how you can judge yourself over the 6 rounds more than anything.
Yeah, well, that's again, like, that was sort of from after the last one. I says I wanted to start up in the rounds and sort of starting to get qualified for titles and stuff. So that's what I said to Kevin, and that was the plan, and he sort of came through with it. So this one's 6 rounds, and then we'll see after that, go for an 8 rounder or maybe another 6 rounder.
As I say, it's just the fact that sometimes it's getting people. If you start to look towards titles, it's starting to, in them lower weight classes in Ireland, there isn't as much depth there, so it's sort of keeping your options open. We're obviously seeing with Thomas Carty, he's having to obviously fight a Scottish heavyweight to fight for a Celtic belt, so thankfully the Celtic belt sort of works out. You don't have to fight someone from Ireland, but for you, obviously titles aren't probably in your mind just yet.
Well, again, I wouldn't turn one down if it was put to me. Like, once I'm obviously eligible, I'll take one. As you said, I don't know if there's anybody really in Ireland that's super bantamweight. I'm not sure. Like, I know, I don't think anybody, if it's their idea to do it, they haven't made it yet. So listen, I'll just keep trucking along and doing what I'm doing. Again, like, even before my last fight, I was called out and stuff, but I forget that I was 1-0 when I was called out. I'm 2-0 now, so it's a long old game. It's a long old few years. So I'll just take my time and see how it goes.
And what a card you're obviously on. Obviously Kieran Malloy obviously headlining. You're obviously on the Morrissey Cronin card obviously in Belfast. It's a rematch for the Irish title. The card's stacked with talent. Is it probably just an honour for you that sort of Conlon Boxing have obviously got you on this card? I guess it's showing the depth we have at the partnerships within Irish boxing, that everybody's happy to work with each other, and Kevin seems to know them all, so it works in good spells and that. So just obviously another delight for you to get on a big card.
I was buzzing. It was good. It's a good card to get on. Obviously, you've Cannon Boxing. They're putting on shows all the time, and they have that link with ESPN and then the TG4 hopefully. So, it's good to get on, especially for sponsors and stuff. People that are sponsoring you just sort of know, well, you're going to be on TV, So obviously their investment in these is going to be seen, that way. So. Nah, mate, I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing to get on that card. It's a great card, and it'll be good exposure.
Obviously, the last time we spoke as well, you were putting on obviously your first show in Ballycastle. When was the last time there was any sort of show in Ballycastle, or even in sort of North Coast sort of direction? Now, it seems to be that Irish boxing starting to, in the amateur sort of side of things, it's starting to sort of regrow up in the northwest as well. So. Obviously, it was a good success for you in the show, and I guess probably maybe get a few more amateurs involved now to see that the progression's coming in Ballycastle.
It was a great show. Like we run it like a pro show. I took the Antrim officials down, and they could, when they came in, they couldn't. They were saying like, I think we had 300 seats in, and they goes, "You sold out." And I said, "Aye, like we sold the whole thing out." I think down there it's something new. Down there's always been hurling GAA basically, and the boxing sort of, I think it's a breath of fresh air. There's kids that maybe don't get into the GAA, they're sort of just left, and this is sort of accommodating for them, and then it's giving them a platform as well to fight and showcase their skills, like with Paddy down, with Paddy McCrory down, with Colin Murphy down, Carl was there, Dee was there, with fighters. So it was good, and it was, everybody was saying about the show, like with a wee lad, Tomas McKee, he headlined it, and it was mental, the atmosphere and all. It was like, you would have thought it was a pro, like the way it was run, you would have thought it was a pro show. The atmosphere was class.
But I guess it gives them, particularly when obviously they're seeing you starting up, in the pro ranks as well, it gives them something to latch on to, and sometimes people live for that sort of hope. So now that people know in Ballycastle there's a club here running shows, they can get more kids involved, because the North Coast's been starred of obviously professional boxing and stuff as well. So that can obviously help build you on in the future as well with the club as well.
Definitely, the me being pros obviously helped that. There's a good buzz. There's a good buzz about Ballycastle, about boxing at the minute, and like I just started it off just doing 1-to-1s, like pads and stuff, and then I remember speaking to Mal Scott, and Mal had said about going, and he says, why do you not go and get a club? And he said that. I says, why would I not? And from I've done it, it's been probably the best season I've done. Even after that show, like I think we had an extra 15 members come in from just the show alone. So obviously, as you're going along, you're building and whatever. So nah, mate, I was buzzing with it. It was a good show. Conor was meant to come here, but he didn't come. Couldn't make it. He couldn't.
Must have been a little late that day. But obviously, finally, then obviously on the Galway card, I guess we've sort of seen, I guess in your last fight we've seen the energy and stuff that was there as well. What obviously we were expecting, what are you expecting to obviously show improvement wise, obviously from your first two fights so far? You just probably more all action. Are you starting to sort of maybe, are you going looking for stoppages, or is it just a sort of, if it comes, you're just happy to do the rounds at this stage?
Listen, at the minute it's just controlling the opponent, and if the stoppage comes, it comes. I did the last fight. I was pushing for it. I was going forward and whatever. So again, if I have to go forward this fight, I'll go forward. If I have to box him, I'll box him. That's just the way I've sort of said from the start of my career. I wanted to work things. Like I didn't want to always just be like fighting one way. Do you know what I mean? I wanted to try and do a bit of both. And then my first fight I showed I can do a bit of boxing. My second fight I went forward. So again, whatever the opponent brings, I'll do whatever I need to beat them.
I'll just correct obviously myself. I was saying at the start of the interview, your first two fights from Belfast. Your first was in Manchester, Belfast, Galway. You're sort of nearly going like 100 miles each direction each time.
I know.
Where's the next card going to be? And
I don't know. I'll take it anywhere, to be honest. Ballycastle, let's do one in Ballycastle, frigate.
Yellow Man and Dulce.
I know, here, Lammasfair, you go Lammasfair weekend, get Conor in the undercard. Oh, I knew jumper. He'll be looking one now.
Well, get him on his size though. But look, obviously we'll see obviously down in Galway in 2 weeks' time. Hopefully we can bring some of the sunshine down to Galway. I'm obviously looking forward to seeing you back in action. And I'm sure we'll obviously catch up with you after the fight when you move to 3-0, and obviously see how things went.
Definitely, mate. Thank you very much, Morty. Thank you.
Cheers, Gerard. Take care. Thank you.